In this video, I'm going to talk about the student introduction tasks, which can be accessed through the main resources for your class. So I'm using the chemistry one as an example, but the physics one is very similar. So if you click on that file, it will start with a little bit of text that introduces what the class is like and what it's all about. I would definitely read this to begin with. After that, this is the important stuff right here, right? It will tell you everything that you need to do to get ready for the class. The first thing is signing up for Sally, which you probably did in class with me. I use Sally to communicate with you. There's two different types of cell, one that you can chat in and another one that only I can talk, that I use for announcements. You got to make sure that the one that I use for announcements is always on with notifications. The other one, you can disable notifications if you want to and log in once you want to participate on the chat only. It's up to you. The next thing you want to do is it's more of a suggestion. I say to follow the class Instagram. We post a lot of pictures about our adventures together in class there. So it's kind of fun to track that along and to collaborate as well. If you want to submit something, you can just tell whoever is a curator at the time, because I have class jobs in my class, and you can tell who the curator is and that you want to put the picture up. You can send it to the curator and they will upload the picture. Now, another thing that you need to do is signing up for your virtual textbook. So there's instructions on how to do that, and they're pretty self-explanatory instructions. And if you have trouble with them, though, just ask me about it, and you can basically do it. But clicking on this link, you can get them. The only thing I will tell you about the instructions, which I am opening right now for you to see, is that these access codes sometimes don't work if you copy and paste. And after the first 50 people use the access code, it will expire, and then you have to use the other access code. So try both if you're having issues. Also, make sure that at the end to type in the correct class code. Otherwise, you won't be able to access the class. Once you do that, you will have access to the textbook. You will have access to extra tutorials, practice quizzes, and etc. So it's a pretty cool portal if you decide to get that extra practice. A good resource. The next thing today you need to do is to make a sigil. So a sigil is like a piece of cardboard or construction paper that is cut to a maximum width of 5 inches and a minimal length of 5 to 10 inches, right? And then we're going to use that in class in a lot of different ways. One side should have art or a collage or drawings that represent who you are as a person. The other side should have in large print your name and class period. We use this for a variety of things in class, so you got to make it as soon as you can, hopefully by the first week you're in it. I also use colorful flashcards to answer questions in class. So you need 4 things for that. You need a green, a red, a yellow, and a blue. In class, if you ever need my help, all you have to do is put the red card on top of the desk, and I'll rush to your desk to help you out. You can also put the yellow card if you're a little bit lost, but you don't need my help immediately. I rarely ever get anybody using that. People usually go there with green or the red. Green on your desk means you're good. You know what you're doing. You don't really need my help right now. We also use these colorful flashcards to answer multiple choice questions that I post in class. I use that to kind of track if you guys are understanding what we're doing. The next thing that you need to do is complete the student sign-up form. So the student sign-up form is this very long survey that I prepared to get to know a little bit about you. It will take you a long time to try to complete the whole thing. There's several pages worth of it. Some of the things are required and some are not. For example, on this first page, you don't have to give me your phone number unless you want to, right? But that means that you have to complete at least the required stuff. That will take you about at least 30 minutes to get that done. Once you do that, you can submit it, and then you can go back and edit if you want later. However, the more you do, the more points you get. But I really wouldn't worry about doing the whole thing. However, the more you do, the easier it will be for me to go in it later and find out who you are and use that to your advantage to be a better teacher for you. So decide what you want to do. If you want to, you can do that and get more points for the system if you do more of it. The next thing that you need to do is show your parents this welcome letter. So I prepare a letter. I have it in both Spanish or English, and if you click on the letter, it will send it to your parents information about the class, all right? And then it's just basically telling your parents, hello. So I would love if you did that. The next thing that I would do is get the required materials for the class. And if you click on that, it will just scroll down within the same file to the list of materials that you should get. All right. And I'm actually going to add one that I forgot to put here for this class, that is markers and eraser for a whiteboard, because we were using them a lot this year. So you definitely should do that if you don't have it yet. Another thing that you can do then, still in the same file, is um, open and look over the syllabus, which I talked about in another video, so I'm not going to do that right now. The next page just has a list of additional resources that may be useful to you throughout the year. This is pretty much the same resources that I talked about in the other video where I talked about main resources. But a few of them include looking into the safety protocol, for example, which is something that you should definitely do. All right? So it's just there for your reference. I wouldn't stress too much about them. Just click around, find out what it is, see what is useful. Maybe one day later, you can actually use it for your sake. So that's it. That's the introduction tasks. The last page, by the way, has links to this lecture series that you're probably watching, into additional lecture series where I explained my teaching philosophy and the way my class works. So I hope this is helpful. And don't forget that to try to do this by the first week. Otherwise, after 1 week is over, you're going to have to spend class time doing this instead of doing the cool activities that we're doing in class. And that's just going to set you back. So you don't want to do that, right? Thanks, guys.